What's going on, guys? Carmine here, and just when you think the episodes couldn't get any more polarizing and more controversial, you get this episode. Now, let's be clear, some things didn't make any sense, some things just outright annoyed me, but there was stuff in here to really like, and there were things I actually really enjoyed despite being annoyed for a chunk of it. The episode's action-packed moments were beautifully done and very well made, but obviously there were things in here that were rushed. It's very clear now that we're rushing to the final episode. And yeah, it's just a shame that this season they demanded only 6 episodes for it, but what are you gonna do? But yeah, let's just get into the whole thing. And before we begin the video, I do want to give a big thank you to today's sponsor, Throne Kingdom at War. If you're a fan of Game of Thrones, then you'll love this free-to-play strategy game that challenges you to rise up, call your banners, and take control of the ultimate seat of power. Whether it's customizing your hero to lead the charge, building up your castles and towns, or taking the fight to your enemies, there's never a dull moment here. And if you're a fan of those old-timey RPG and strategy games from the 90s like Final Fantasy or even Diablo, then you'll feel right at home here. It's free to play right now, and if you're not in the habit of downloading anything to your phone or tablet, they've got you covered. You can take up the fight online through your web browser, and because of that, there's nothing to patch or install or any other hassle. Play the way you want with millions of other players. I'll leave a link in the description below. Definitely check them out. It'll really help out the channel. But most importantly, get on there and claim what is rightfully yours. So first, let me start off by saying that originally I wanted to include my Jaime Cersei, mostly Jaime rant in this video, but I had to cut it up and put it in its own separate video because it was literally half the video. The video was almost 22 minutes because most of it was Jaime, and I have to go back and cut that up because the video itself was just so long, but his end with Cersei really does make sense. Like, everybody's complaining, well, he was with Brienne and all that stuff, and I think someone on Twitter said it best. Brienne wasn't out for him, and she just couldn't do it. He just didn't feel like he could be happy with her, and he had to go back. He's a creature of habit. We're all humans. Jaime is human. He's flawed. He's pathetic. He's a fool. But he's in love, and what are you gonna do? So I'll go more into that in another video. Hit that subscribe and bell button, to stay notified when I do upload that video. I want to upload it maybe either today or a few hours after this video, depending when it comes out. Lena Headey as Cersei did an amazing job this episode. I didn't like that a good chunk of it, she's just staring out of a fucking window. If I didn't know any better, I would say that she probably filmed her final scenes in like one day, because how many takes does it take for you to just stare out the window and, you know, have one tear coming down? But when she sees Jaime, my heart just broke for her. I hate Cersei. She's an awful person, but at the same time, she's there at the final moments of her life with the one person she loved. And a part of me theorizes that maybe she sent Bronn to kill Tyrion and Jaime because maybe she knew that Bronn was the only person that wouldn't do it. He wasn't a common sellsword that would, you know, jump at the chance. He would actually not do it. It's almost like a love letter from her that she sent an assassin to them, or to Jaime specifically. Like, it's almost like a love letter, you know? Like, have you ever been with that one person where they show you how much they still love you in like weird ways, you know, whether it's like punching you in the arm? I had a girlfriend when I was younger in grade school, and I guess she showed me how she really felt about me by punching me in the arm. I was like, ow, yeah. You know, it's like one of those things. So I gotta defend it for a minute there. But, yeah, no, Cersei went out very weird. I didn't like the way she went out, honestly. But at the same time, any death for Cersei, you guys would probably still bitch and complain about it, especially if Arya ended up killing Cersei. I feel as though debris and rubble killing her, having the entire Red Keep fall on top of her, whereas it's a majority of where she spent most of her scenes, I don't know, that seems fitting for me. It seems very fitting for me. Now, I'm going to contradict myself in a minute here. I really liked Dany in the first opening part of the episode, and I really hated Tyrion. Tyrion, dude, Varys helped you. He helped you escape King's Landing back in Season 4 when you were about to be executed. What the fuck, bro? You sold his ass out, you fucking asshole. And Dany has every right to go loco. Until later on, when she doesn't have to. But she has every right to go fucking crazy, because everybody around her is kind of whispering. Everybody around her is planning to betray her. Well, not everybody, but you can't blame her for thinking that. Jon Snow did kind of betray her in a way. She was right. People don't really care about this woman. They care about the lineage. They care about the man. They care about the charisma. They care about the charm. Who can really sit on that throne and hold and keep it without having to shed blood? At the end of the day, that's what people want the most. And she was worried that that's what they would choose him over her. If my girlfriend came to me and asked me to keep a secret that would harm her had it come out, I would keep that secret. Even though my family should probably know, I think what's more important is the overall safety of everybody involved, because once the secret is out, people die. Jon Snow, in a sense, is also responsible for Varys, because she knows how information travels. We all know how information travels in Game of Thrones. It's almost like everybody has a fucking cell phone. Everybody has a coffee cup, but not a cell phone, of course. And I just really hate Tyrion, what he did in the first, 20 minutes of this episode. He sold out Varys, you stupid douche. But at the same time, though, he's also my MVP of the episode, because I really, really enjoyed his character, especially after the Varys execution, which, by the way, Varys was my guy. I love Varys. He played the Game of Thrones perfectly. Him and Littlefinger, they both deserve better. But Tyrion's douchiness aside, after the Varys execution, I really liked Tyrion. He doesn't show up for a good chunk of the episode, but his scene with Jaime, he's the hero that we kind of needed. And that's Game of Thrones poetry in motion there, if you will. As George Lucas would say, well, actually it doesn't rhyme. The hero is the one guy we least suspect. And this little dude is really just very wholesome. He cares about everybody involved, not just his own allies, but the opposition as well. Even though she hates him and wants to kill him, he still wants her to survive, simply because the child inside her doesn't deserve that fate. Tyrion is a great dude, but he's also a stupid asshole as well. So I love Tyrion this episode. He was really wholesome. I always liked Tyrion, but it's just, in the last couple of seasons, he's really sucked. Mostly in Season 6. Go back and watch Tyrion Season 6 scenes. Awful. Absolutely boring. The one person I hated the most, besides Arya, in this episode, Euron Greyjoy. After his ships are destroyed, there is nothing left for him to do. His fight with Jaime was kinda dumb. I wasn't a fan of it. And I hate how he goes out. He goes out and he goes, "I'm the man who will be known for killing Jaime Lannister." Yeah, but will anybody even know that? I think rubble and debris will go down as killing Jaime Lannister. I don't really think, when the archaeologists are digging up the ruins of King's Landing, I really don't think, oh my god, it's Jaime Lannister. How do you know? Well, the Golden Hand, of course. Oh shit. How did he die? By rubble? No, man, of course not. You see here, right there. That's clearly a stab wound from a dagger by Euron Greyjoy. Oh, yes, of course. How did I miss that? Clearly. But his head was crushed in by that rock. No. He died long before that. Here, you can tell right there, and there. Euron, you're an asshole. The writers were so dumb here. What is it? Euron is stupid. A character that harassed Dany effectively and made fleet warfare actually important in Game of Thrones when it wasn't for 6 seasons. Fleet warfare matters, and Euron showed that, and then they take him out in the most ridiculous way possible, having Jaime killed him. I mean, okay. I guess they had some sort of rivalry because they both wanted Cersei. I would rather Dany kill him. I would be okay with Jon killing him. In fact, I would rather Jon kill him. That is the last boss battle Jon should have. Euron Greyjoy, a guy he's never met before, he only saw once, and there you go. So, it's also a damn shame that Euron didn't have his Kraken axe with him. You know, that axe that he has with him that has the Kraken design on the blade? Whatever. Euron, you sucked. I mean, you didn't suck, but it could have been done better, which is probably the motto for the last couple of seasons, so. Let's talk about Clegane Bowl. Now, it's finally here. Y'all can shut the fuck up about it. It's been like 4 or 5 years since I started this channel. I've heard nothing but, Carmine, Clegane Bowl, it's happening this season. And it never happened. It finally happened. And I have to say, I'm not disappointed. I just wish that they fought on even ground. So visually, it was incredibly striking. The one thing that pisses me off the most is that before the fight even begins, the mountain, and I kind of like, yeah, fuck you, and then I was like, no, damn it. Before the fight began, the mountain grabs Qyburn and just smashes his head. Qyburn dies without us ever knowing anything about that motherfucker whatsoever. And Preston even said something that I didn't realize until afterwards, and I was like, oh shit, you're right. We don't know why Qyburn was in Harrenhal when Robb found him back in Season 3. We don't know what Qyburn did to the mountain. Everybody keeps telling me, well, it's probably something to do with white technology. Well, okay, if that's the case, how the fuck did he even get his hands on that? Like, what? Like, is he from the north? Is he a wild? Like, what is up with Qyburn? And we'll never find out. Because the people that could have given us insight into what he did to the mountain are dead. Cersei and Varys, maybe? I don't even know. So, yeah, Qyburn was one of the show's, I don't want to say he was an underdog, but he pulled through in a lot of ways, and he just died, so we'll never know what he did to the mountain, and I really want to know because the Hound stabs this fucking guy in the face, and he still keeps going. Like, when the Hound stabs in the face, I was like, yes! What? No! And I just want to know what the hell this thing is now. But the fight itself, you know, the dialogue throughout it, you know, typical Hound stuff, I loved it. I love the whole Clegane Bowl thing. I just wish we knew what Qyburn did to the mountain, and I just wish it was on an even playing field. My other issue with it, once again, very minor issue, is that it cuts away a lot. Even though the reason this is a minor issue is because it annoys me in the episode, but I know someone's gonna probably take all the clips of them fighting together, fighting each other in this episode, and splice it together on YouTube and probably put, like, the Star Wars themed Duel of Fates from Phantom Menace in there, and, you know, which, by the way, if anybody hasn't done that yet, please do that and send me a link, please. This is your mission. If you're good at video editing, please do this, because I want to watch this over and over again. Duel of Fates is definitely required for this, for this fight. But no, the fight was visually stunning. I thought the episode itself was visually stunning, let's be clear. Them on the stairs was pretty awesome. The dragon in the background, explosions happening all around. Clegane Bowl, did it live up to the hype? In some ways, yes, I think it did. I'm more satisfied than not. So the bane of my channel's existence is Arya. Every time I talk about this girl, I get dislikes to all hell. Bring it the fuck on, because I hated Arya this entire episode. Go ahead, I can hear, I can taste them too. I can taste all those dislikes. Go right ahead, but I fucking hate Arya. So, let me get this straight. Her final mission is at hand, and then the Hound stops her. Go home, girl. This is no By the way, I realize I'm making the Hound sound like Christian Bale's Batman. Go home, girl. This is no place for you. Look at what revenge has done to me. If you go any further, you will die. Okay, I'll go. What? What happened to that cocksure bullshit attitude of yours? Are you serious? Okay, fine. So she leaves, and I swear to God, she's supposed to die like 7 times. Say what you will about Jon. He has plot armor. Swords and arrows don't touch this fucking guy. This is true. Arya has Thanos-level armor. Arya has the Infinity Gauntlet of plot armor. Are you fucking kidding me? She's supposed to die like 7 times, and at times I think she does die, right? She gets trampled on. People, like, step on this girl's spine, and, like, debris falls. I think a building falls on this bitch. She still survives. Oh my god, are you serious? Dragonfire kills everybody around her but her. And I thought it was going to be like a bit of some symbolic poetry where someone even said it on Twitter. They thought that she was going to get burned like on a certain part of her face, you know, to symbolize like, you know, like you're the Hound now. Like this is what revenge has made you. It scarred you because you were consumed by it. But no, she's completely out of the cave. She just walked. At one point, by the way, this is just so funny to me. At one point, there were people in a safe place cowering, and she goes, "You can't stay here. You'll die. Follow me. If we go out there, we'll die. No, you must come with me. Otherwise, you'll die." And then she leads all these people to their fucking deaths. Bro, what are you doing? Why did you do that? You should have just left them there. By the way, I almost thought we had a Jurassic Park moment. Do you remember this scene from Jurassic Park? Got him. I thought the same thing happened to Arya when that tower falls on her. Like, you know the part of the tower that has the cutout for the window? I thought when the tower fell on her, like, it fell on her with the window part, and she's just in the building now. But no, she just... Preston's right. This bitch is Wolverine. Like, nothing kills her. She should have died 7 times, but nothing kills her. So stupid. So dumb. If I could sum up this episode with one emotion, it would be, yes! No! Because I did that multiple fucking times throughout the entire episode. So, Dany comes in on Drogon, and the first thing she does, she's finally learned her lesson after 3 defeats on the fucking ocean. She goes for Euron's fleet, and she somehow manages to dodge all the scorpion shots. A lot of people were saying, well, that's so unrealistic. They got Rhaegal, how come Drogon was able to dodge it? Well, you could argue that they killed Rhaegal because they caught him by surprise. They caught both Dany and Rhaegal by surprise, and therefore they couldn't see it, and they, couldn't dodge in time. Okay, fine. That I can go with. So Dany comes in, takes out the Iron Fleet. She, maneuvers around them. Instead of going straight for them, she's just maneuvering around them, taking out military targets. Then she comes back over to King's Landing, takes out the battlements with the scorpions there, and she's just going to town on all these military targets. Yes! And then she opens fire on innocent civilians. No! Why? That was random. Why would you do that? You had already won. The reason they gave is because, she looked at the Red Keep and got really pissed off about all that was taken from her and her family. So then you destroy it. What? That doesn't make any sense. And I felt the same way with the Golden Company. I'm like, all right, Golden Company, they've been hyped up. We've heard, their prowess, even in the show. We're aware of them. Stannis is like, the Golden Company? They have reputation even in the show. And in the books, they're, they know how to get shit done. The Golden Company, what's gonna happen? Jon Snow versus... That's really what it turned out to be, huh? What a waste of fucking gold and time. My time. Our time, actually. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. Once again, this episode, if anything, no one can deny, visually striking. Very well directed. The battles were great. But the Golden Company, I expected more gold and company, and there was none of that. There was nothing there. Dany's armies just steamrolled right on through, and quite frankly, I do like that they get that easy win, but at the same time, I don't like that the trade-off is Crazy Dany, because her craziness comes out of nowhere. Her killing innocent people, how does she not see the irony of what the Mad King wanted to do? How do you not see that, bro? How do you not, really put that together? And I wish, and this is the problem everybody's having, because it does feel like a betrayal to the audience for the character, especially fans of Daenerys. there was no signs of PTSD with anything bells related. Someone on Twitter was trying very hard to argue that, well, Khal Drogo raped and tortured her and he had bells in his hair. Like, that's come on, man, that's not adequate. You're failing as you say it. If there was any signs of like PTSD on her part, or like just any signs of her breaking down mentally throughout all the seasons, like I could see it, but her snapping like that, it came out of nowhere. I wasn't a fan. But I did like the visual representation of her, just doing the whole thing. The fact that they didn't show her burning the city and we saw everything from like, the civilian standpoint was great. I still hate the fact that I saw this episode 3 times already at the time of this recording. I still hate the fact that most of the episode is just watching civilians die. Innocent people are being trampled and crushed and burned and maimed, and I'm sure raped at some point, because even Jon stops that from one of his own guys, which is crazy. But just watching that is insane. And I think the purpose here is to show Dany as the new villain now, which you could have done that without showing me 30 minutes of people dying, which a good chunk of the episode is innocent people dying. And yeah, I also love like how her army goes crazy. They go crazy themselves. Bloodlust. Even the Northern army, they just go like insane. Jon and Davos are the only ones to like hold themselves back, and maybe a few other Northern guys, but everybody's just going crazy with bloodlust because it's that hype, that moment that they're in is just so like intense. They're just in it. And I gotta give them props for doing that, because that was absolutely like just true. There are historical accounts of that going down. Normal everyday guys who just go crazy in the moment and snap as well. So visually striking, but it didn't make any sense. I love the battles. I love, Jon, Grey Worm, the army just walking in there, taking out Lannister targets, Dany taking out the Iron Fleet and all the battlements, but her going crazy just did not make any sense to me, nor did it make any sense to keep showing for 30 fucking minutes innocent people dying and being burned alive. Like, I get it. You don't need to show me that like constantly for 30 minutes. I get that she's your hidden endgame boss now. I understand. Well, guys, that is it for today, but as always, leave your thoughts down below. Overall, I didn't think this was the worst episode we've ever gotten, especially considering there's some more awful ones in Season 6, but the aura of rushed storylines and nonsensical writing really is prevalent here in these later episodes. Dany's insanity came out of nowhere, even when she had won, Arya's plot armor was unbearable, and Tyrion being a great guy to everyone but Varys bugged the hell out of me. But I did like the visuals. The battles, as usual, were awesome, and I was on the edge of my seat for a good chunk of the episode, and that's what matters the most, whether or not you're entertained. But I'm sure some of you weren't, so leave your thoughts down below, hit that bell and subscribe button to stay notified for all future videos, leave a like if you enjoyed, and I'll see you all next time. Have a good one.